Nothing works better than a well-executed plan. That's the way I see it. And that's something I think that we're going to talk about right here, right now, today on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast with me, your host, Frank Garay, and we are powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. I have with me today a gentleman. His name is Tom Kalagher. Hi, Tom. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Hey, just real quick, where are you located? I don't even know that. Where are you at?
I'm in Fairhope, Alabama.
Fairhope, Alabama. Nice.
Yeah,
Cool,
it's a
man.
nice spot.
Hey, so I'm not big on going, how'd you get into the business and all that and learning your life story before we get to the point of the podcast. So I'm just going to get right to the point of it. When did you start in the mortgage business?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So you've been doing loans for 2 years, mortgages. Yep. Right. Okay. So 2021, how many units? What was the volume?
2021, I did 42 units for 8.8 million.
42 units, 8.8 million. That's your first year.
That was my first year. Yep.
First year. And we could say, well, okay, but 2021 was, refi mania, right? And it was. And were those primarily refis?
I had a ton of refinances in the first 8 months. Yeah, that's mostly what they were.
Okay, great. So you're brand new. You jump in during a refi boom. Of course, you're going to be doing refinances, right? Yep. But then what happens to a lot of new people that get into the industry, if they get in, like when you got in during a refi boom, is when the refi boom dries up, they dry up and go away. But yet you're still here, which is kind of weird. So what did you do and what was your units and volume in 2022?
2022, I did 51 units for $15 million.
So 51. So an increase in 2022.
Yep.
Increase in volume, increase in units, which just seems kind of unheard of. It just doesn't make any sense for a person that got in brand new during a refi boom. It makes no sense whatsoever. Just so you know, Tom, just want you to know that, right? Okay. And then, so here we are. This is January of 2023. What's slated in the pipe to close this month? How many units roughly?
This month I'll have 6 units for just over $1 million, 1.1, 1.2, something like that.
Fabulous. Okay. And the 6 units that you've got right now, are they refinances or what are they?
No, they're all purchases.
They're all purchases. Okay. So Tom, I think you're confusing a whole lot of people right now. This is making absolutely zero sense. We just don't see young men get into the mortgage space in the middle of a big fat honking refinance boom, then have it shut off immediately after they get in. Just several months, a few months after you get in, the refi boom is just completely shut off, right? And then, but you're still here. You increased your volume and your unit count in 2022, and now you're closing, 6 transactions for 1.2 million 2023 as a 2-year new guy, all purchase deals. How does this happen, Tom? Please explain how a guy that's been in the business for 2 years who came in a refi boom should have gotten washed out by now, freaking out, right? Has not been washed out. In fact, is excelling. And let's be honest, if you continue to do 6 units a month, what's that going to be for the year? 70 something,
yeah.
70 something deals for the year. And the volume's obviously going to be notable at that point as well. How did this happen? How does this make sense at all, Tom? It doesn't make sense. Why are you here now? What has done it?
Well, when I was doing the refinances, I realized I had a problem. I was doing a ton of loans one month and then one the next, and a ton of loans the next month and one the next. And I went looking for help, and I found the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And they taught me about kind of this roller coaster that people get stuck on, where they're not looking for new loans when they're focused on closing the ones they found.
Right.
So I joined MMA and started dedicating 2 hours every morning to prospecting.
Great.
And they also taught me about courting realtors for to have a steady stream of loans coming in, which I wasn't doing.
Can I interrupt you right here? When did you touch MMA? When did you touch marketing animals? What year was it? 2021 or 2022?
I went to an event, I think in July of 21. And a couple months after that, I signed up. And then early 2022, maybe mid 2022, I joined Freedom Club.
Okay, so just to be clear, for anyone who's listening right now, there's Mortgage Marketing Animals is, I would say, the entry level coaching program that Tom joined, and then but there's a more advanced level which is called Freedom Club. So with Freedom Club, just so you guys are clear, it's like with Mortgage Marketing Animals, it's more of a group coaching environment, right? So we're doing every day. There's a way to engage with animals on, on live streams, on Zoom calls, et cetera, where we're getting coached group wise, right? In a group scenario. But then to go to Freedom Club, now you've got a coach, right? Is that how it is?
Yep. I have Jenny as my coach, and we go over plans. We go over what I've done in the last couple of weeks, as well as what I'm going to be doing in the coming weeks. And then she holds me accountable to the plans that we set out.
Is she a pretty tough cookie, Tom?
She can be, be, but I convinced her, what I like to call, I'm 100% on 80% of the time. So
I love it.
If I get 3 weeks where I'm 100% on, it's okay if something happened on that fourth week where I get everything done.
Okay, great. So let's pick up where we left off. So you connected with animals, you found your way into Freedom Club, and this is mid 2022, something like that, right? Mid 2022, and then how to walk me through it again. So now you're learning. Okay, I have to prospect, but I have to entertain this real estate agent thing. Right. Walk us through that? I mean, you're a guy that didn't have any, right? I would assume, or had very few when you kind of first got started and you were doing all the refis, probably didn't have a lot of real estate agents to work with. Would you say the real estate agent connection is what's really keeping you going right now? And walk me through how that went. Like, how did you manage to get these agents to work with you?
Absolutely. So when I first started courting agents, I just called up people that I didn't know. I kind of focused on newer agents, which at the time I didn't realize was a mistake.
Okay.
Because I was new, so I figured I'd look for newer agents and maybe we could grow together. I got a couple that regularly sent me business. And then the more I learned from the Mortgage Marketing Animals, I got a list of the top producing agents in my county. And now I exclusively call from that list. So I'm always calling agents who are doing 6 or more buy sides a year.
Gotcha.
Which means I get a much better steady stream of incoming loans.
Tom, when you started calling these real estate agents, now these are agents you don't know. These are producing agents in your area. You're not probably, I'm assuming you probably weren't familiar with them firsthand, a lot of them. What was it like for you to make that cold call? How did you get, were you just cool with it? Like, you're like, no problem, I'll call these people, no problem, doesn't bother me at all? Or did you have any type of call reluctance or anything like that? Or how were you in regard to that?
Yeah, I was terrified. I didn't.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I don't mind calling people and talking to people that I know, but calling an agent that I don't know scared me. I didn't want to do it, but sooner or later, I was told I had to do it. I had to pick up the phone and make the call. And you know what? For the most part, they're all really nice people, and they're really understanding of what you're trying to do. Even when you get on the phone and you kind of flub up what you're trying to say, they're understanding, and really, really good people around here.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're horrified to do it, but as you started doing it, it became easier. Is that what I'm hearing? Or it became less, some of the reluctance started to go away. It wasn't that big of a deal, or?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not as bad now. I mean, it's still not my favorite thing to do, but I know I have to do it if I want loans to come in that month. So every Monday, I pick up the phone and make my calls.
Make your calls. So, and you said it's still not your favorite thing to do, right? So you still kind of go, okay, here we go. I'm gonna make one of the things in Mortgage Marketing Animals in the Freedom Club is we're trying to put together something we call a Focus 40, which is where we're trying to get at least 40 real estate agents that we're pals with, right? That we're very comfortable with. We talk to them once a week at least, right? And they're sending us a good steady stream of business, all of them. Where are you at on that? Do you have 40 at this point, or how far along are you on that, would you say?
I have 30 agents that sent me at least one deal that closed, and probably 15 or 20 that send me just about all of their deals.
Really?
Or at least a big chunk.
Okay.
Maybe if somebody comes pre-approved, they don't send them to me, but for the most part, they're sending me a big chunk of their deals. So
Okay.
I'm not up to 40 yet, but I'm working on it.
You're getting close. You're definitely getting close. So that's where I was kind of going with this. So you're not quite there yet. So you're still doing the cold call to introduce yourself, that type of a thing. When you make that call to that, like you're calling an agent cold, never spoken to him before, give me an idea. What's your script there? What do you say?
Basically, I call them up and tell them that I love what they're doing on social media. I try to get some piece of information first, right? I love what they're doing on social media. Okay. I saw that you had this great closing. I saw you're closing a ton of deals. I'd love the opportunity to buy you coffee or grab lunch and hear how you're doing that. And that's usually a pretty successful way to get that meeting.
Like using that approach, Tom, I'm just curious, and you might not have, strict analytics on this, but even with one eye shut, kind of looking at it, how many cold calls to the agent you got to make to get one to say, sure, man, yeah, let's get together? I mean, how was it, like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 5? What do you think? Any idea?
So I aim to make 30 calls every Monday.
Okay.
And if I make 30 calls to all new agents, ones I haven't called before, I'll probably end up with 5 or 6 meetings.
No kidding. That's pretty good. So that script is working really well.
Yeah. I've refined it over time. And if you find something that they really like, they're really good at, they're very receptive to hearing more of that. Interesting.
Cool. I think that anybody listening right now is probably going, okay, this sounds like it might be doable, right? Like this could be something I might be able to do. But I think everybody, you said, hey, I was horrified to make that first call. You get that call, you get someone to say yes, now you got to meet. In the beginning, we're equally as horrified to go, well, now I'm going to meet them. What do I talk about? I mean, what do you, when you get to that meeting, and I'd like to know, are these a lot of face-to-face for you, or do you do Zooms, or what do you do? And then when you get there, what do you talk about?
So I do all face-to-face. I don't do any Zooms. Only if the person tells me they're too busy, then I ask for 15 minutes on the phone. But that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So I do face-to-face, and that part doesn't bother me. I've done face-to-face meetings in my past career. I enjoy them. I like them. Not a problem. So
you didn't have any issues with that. When you got we're going to meet face-to-face, you weren't concerned about that at all. You just were like, cool, I'm going to go see him face-to-face. But what do you talk about when you get there?
So the first thing I always ask is how they get in the business, because everybody has a unique story.
True.
And they like talking about that.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them about what it is they're doing to get clients today. And then I'll save my pitch for the last, 3 to 5 minutes. I'm there mostly to get them talking, get them comfortable with me, build the relationship, and then I'll let them know about the programs that we have, what I can do for them, and hopefully how I can get them more clients.
It's great. So when you say it's your pitch, right? You save your pitch till the end. Like, what does that mean to you? What is my pitch? What's your pitch?
So I basically will say, here are the list of programs we have, right? We've got conventional and FHA and USDA and VA, like everybody, but I also have ways to broker files for unique situations. So we have down payment assistance programs. We have one-time close construction programs, jumbo, some unique investment property programs for them. And I try to make sure that they know I'm their one-stop shop, right?
Got it.
They can come to me for everything. They don't need to say, oh, Tom's my niche.
This guy
for conventional. No, I do everything. I'm the only person you need to call. And then I like to tell them, the way I always frame it is, I know that you guys get frustrated that you don't get a lot of leads from your lending partners, right? I feel the same way about my insurance partners that I use. I send them tons of leads and I get nothing back. But what I do is I have a program that I use to get more leads for you. So I have a system of calls that I make on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, always ending with the same script of asking them to do me a favor. Do they know anybody looking to buy, sell, or refinance in the next 12 months? And can I count on you for an introduction?
I love it.
And what that does is, if it's a client that you and I have worked with together and they give me a lead 6 months down the road, that lead always goes back to you.
I love it.
And the more business we do together, the more business I can generate to send back to you.
Boy, I think they'd have a hard time kind of saying no to something like that, Tom.
They usually like that. Yeah.
They usually like that. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been able to do it? Have you ever been able to send a referral back to an agent?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's about, for every 5 they send me, I'm able to send one back.
You're able to pull one out, to extract one out.
Yeah,
right?
I can either extract it from there, or I actually do pretty well on social media too. I do some videos and post a lot on Facebook. I don't spend a lot of time on it, but that'll pull me, I don't know, maybe 7 loans for the year, something like that, that I'm able to send back to referral partners.
Gotcha. So so Tom, in your opinion though, with the things that you do, what is the one thing that you say moves the needle the most? What's moving the needle? What's keeping the needle moving for you the most?
So the cold calling realtors is definitely the biggest thing.
Okay.
The second biggest thing is the Tuesday update call. So on Tuesday, I call the borrower and the buyer's agent to give them an update on the loan status, but I also call the listing agent every week to give them an update. And they usually respond something to the effect of, "Oh, wow, my lender never does that for me."
Right.
And I say, "Well, they could. You just send me the next one and you'll get an update."
And they do in turn.
And they do. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this has just been great. I don't know that I really need to go much further. I know there's a lot more to what we call the daily success plan at Mortgage Marketing Animals. We have theme days, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and the things that we do. But I was so curious to hear from you, because someone who's only been in the business 2 years, that's pretty young in the business, Tom, like really young. And to come in during a refi boom and have that shut off, have it just chopped off at the knees just so quickly, and to still excel and go forward and do well for a new person, it's just unheard of. And so it really is a testament to the coaching program, isn't it?
It absolutely is, because I wouldn't be here without that.
Really?
Yeah.
Just plain and simple, wouldn't be here without that.
No, I don't think so. I left a job that paid pretty good, and if I wasn't able to replace that income, I would have needed to find something else. But I've been able to do that plus some, so it's been good.
One more question before we sign off, and I just am so appreciative of this call, and I think it's the simplicity of this podcast is really awesome, because I'm going to title this thing for people that have been in the business 2 years or 2 years or less, so that they can take a peek at it. And I think what you shared is going to be extremely impactful for them. But one other thing I wanted to ask you is, you're working with a coach. You're in the Freedom Club, and Freedom Club is the Freedom Club is a wise investment for anybody. Jeannie is keeping you on track, right, with the plan, and you guys are checking in. At least, do you guys check in once a week with each other? How often do you check in?
We have an hourly call every other week, and then she sends me texts or maybe a quick call in between to make sure things are going okay.
Just drop in on you, see how it's going.
Things outside of work, to be honest. So health stuff or whatever else, she checks in and makes sure everything's going good.
Okay, good. So she's right in alongside you. She's in the hunt with you. She's just there to make sure we're staying on track. Is there anything else that, or is there outside of just making sure we're on track with the plan, which is clearly working, right? That's clearly working, right? What is there anything else that your coach has helped you with that, and I'm just curious, and maybe you don't have anything off the top of your head, it's fine, but is there anything else that you could say that, man, that was a really cool moment or a really cool thing that she helped me with, or really, I was doing this thing and she really turned me around on that, or anything like that you can think of?
She helps keep me from getting distracted.
Right.
So I hear these really cool ideas or this unique way of marketing, and I bring it to her and I say, what do you think about doing this? She goes, that's a great idea for once you have help, right? Once you have somebody else working for you,
yes,
that's helping you, then you can go do these other things. But don't you dare spend any money till you have that.
So
don't go do those unique things until somebody's helping you with the basics.
I love it. So so I thought I was going to kind of wrap this up, but I've changed my mind. So you're doing this all alone. You don't have an assistant or a VA caller or anything like that right now?
I don't have any VA caller. My company does supply kind of a part-time virtual assistant that helps get documents in order.
So
they help with
condition chaser. You got a condition chaser? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, like upfront documents for the pre-approval. Our processors handle all the conditions for us. I don't have to worry about that.
Well, great. So you do have you've got help on the back end. You do have some help on the back end. That's great. And just a lot of companies don't have that. It's really great that you do. But on the front end, as far as the marketing piece goes, all the DSP efforts, the daily success plan efforts, you're solo on all that.
Absolutely.
Great. Are you thinking I'm bringing somebody on anytime soon to help?
I was planning on doing it in January. I'm just holding off with the interest rates until unit volume goes back up a little bit and I feel a little bit more secure, but I'm planning on adding it this year.
But in the meantime, you're doing just fine on your own.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got it. You've got the plan. You work the plan. You got the business in the door. Come on, bro. There's a lot of people that have been in the business. I know originators that have been in the business 20, 25 years. They ain't closing 6 in January. They're not. Okay. I mean, they're not, and you are. And from what I hear, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I hear is you're working with a coach to follow a plan and you're doing it 100% perfect 80% of the time.
That's right. Can't be on 100% of the time. 80% is pretty darn good.
80% of the time, you're 100% on it. So it's doing well. Tom, man, thank you so much for just having this real candid conversation. I love it, man. You inspired me. You inspired me, and I know you're going to inspire a lot of other people who hear this because you've got a plan, you're working it, and you're reaping the benefit of it or the fruits from it, right? So good stuff, man. Tom, thank you so much for being on the podcast. You're going to get a Loan Officer Breakfast Club t-shirt for this, my friend. You know that? Awesome. Yeah, you are. And if you're and you know what, because you're going to be on as our member on a member spotlight on Loan Officer Breakfast Club, so you're also going to get a Mortgage Marketing Animals Yeti mug. Yeah, Yeti coffee mug, man. So look at that. All these see now all that effort has truly paid off for you, hasn't it? Right? You reach the pinnacle. It's like, I'm done. Wrap up this mortgage business and put it in the can. Got my t-shirt, got my mug. I'm ready to go. So Tom, you're an inspiration. Thank you so much for doing this. I super appreciate it, man.
All right, Frank, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. And we'll see you soon here on the member spotlight in the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Tom Kalagher, everyone. Just what an inspiration for someone who's only been in the business 2 years. Fantastic stuff. Look, you should check out Mortgage Marketing Animals. The best way to do that is just join us at Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Start there. You can get to know us really, really well there. We have a great time. You're going to learn a whole lot about what Tom talked about. We meet every single Monday through Thursday at 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time. It's absolutely free for every originator out there in the country. And you just go to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com to get registered, and we'll see you there. Tom, thanks again, man. We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. For the rest of you, we'll catch you later here next week on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast with me, your host, Frank Ray, powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. See ya.